I've done a bad thing. 5-year-old girl bursts into tears as cops fine her for lemonade stand. A 5-year-old girl had her entrepreneurial spirit crushed over the weekend by 4 officers who issued her a $200 ticket for selling lemonade with no permit. By Matt Agarist, July 21, 2017. Common sense, among those who work inside the state, is a rare commodity. Agents of the state, like those who work in law enforcement, often become so blinded to reality by just doing my job they throw logic and reason to the wayside, choosing authority and force instead. Nothing highlights this blind order following quite like police tormenting a 5-year-old girl and issuing her a citation for the crime of selling lemonade without a permit. She just wanted to put a smile on people's faces. She was really proud of herself. Andre Spicer, the father of the 5-year-old girl who all of a sudden found herself on the receiving end of the police state over the weekend. Spicer told the BBC that his daughter set up a table and was selling lemonade in Mile End, East London, while thousands of music fans were on their way to the Lovebox Festival over the weekend. She was in a prime spot and was making money, that is, until the coppers showed up. Exactly how many police officers did it take to shut down a 5-year-old's lemonade stand? 4. Advertisement. As Spicer explains, but after a small time trading, 4 enforcement officers walked over from the other side of the road. I was quite shocked. I thought that they would just tell us to pack up and go home. Instead of telling the 5-year-old that she should not be selling lemonade without a permit, which would have been atrocious enough, these hero cops protected society by issuing her a fine for £150, nearly $200 USD. But they turned on their mobile camera and began reading from a big script explaining that she did not have a trading license, Spicer explained. Read more. This teenage kid refused to be harassed, cop left speechless. At this point, the girl became horrified at the 4 large officers standing over her, telling her she'd broken the law. My daughter clung to me screaming, "Daddy, Daddy, I've done a bad thing." She's 5, Spicer said. We were then issued a fine of £150. We packed up and walked home. The sheer lack of humanity a person has to have to issue a $200 ticket to a 5-year-old girl for selling squeezed lemons mixed with water to willing patrons is disturbing, to say the least. All hope in humanity is not lost, however. Once Spicer spoke out about the ridiculous fine his daughter received, the city council eventually heard about it. As BBC reported, a council spokesman said, "We are very sorry that this has happened. We expect our enforcement officers to show common sense and to use their powers sensibly." This clearly did not happen. Luckily, for the Spicer family, positive publicity is more valuable than the $200 fine to the city, so they chose to take the high road. The fine will be cancelled immediately and we have contacted Mr. Spicer and his daughter to apologize, the council spokesman said. However, you can rest assured that if Spicer had not spoken out about this fine and, instead, simply chose not to pay it, a warrant would have been issued and force would have been escalated, for lemonade. As NBC reports, in his column for The Telegraph, Spicer, a professor at the Cass School of Business at London City University, lamented all the rules, regulations, and monitoring of children that goes on now, often stifling creativity, entrepreneurial spirit and the confidence gained by giving children a little independence. Read more. Florida death camps. Record 346 inmates died while locked in Florida prisons in 2014. I think the wider issue here is a question about encouraging children to have a go at things, whether it's starting a small business or putting on a play or whatever they want to do, Spicer told ITV. Children are under a lot of pressure these days and are often not encouraged to take risks. It's turning out to be a hard and fast lesson in how government requirements on business, many of which play no role in protecting people or the environment, put a heavy, unnecessary burden on aspiring entrepreneurs like Spicer's little girl's lemonade stand. Revenue collection is often the only driver of government permits and licenses, and this collection is enforced with police force. Bearing down on the age-old tradition of youngsters setting up lemonade stands demonstrates how obsessed the state has become in regulating small business. It appears that Spicer's daughter made it through the gauntlet, with the help of publicity and social media. Others are not so fortunate, though. In Portland, Oregon, an 11-year-old girl wanted to sell mistletoe from their farm at a holiday market to help her dad pay for her braces, which cost $5,000. But the Parks Bureau refused to let her set up without a permit, lease, or concession agreement. She was told she could beg instead. In 2015, comedian Jerry Seinfeld's son, Julian, and two friends set up a lemonade stand to raise money for a charity. However, thanks to a see something say something neighbor, police were notified of the illegal lemonade venture. Hero officers then swooped in to shut down the stand, citing local village law violations. Read more: teacher kidnapped by police, being held in undisclosed mental facility for writing a fiction book. After being shut down, Jerry and family posed for an epic pic, trolling both the police and the neighbor who would call the cops to shut down a charitable lemonade stand.
Hey Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done...
For life hating so much.
Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before,
Sheriff's getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.